All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kodash. Double honor goes out to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, from whom I learned the truth. And much love and peace and blessings goes out to all the hopeful elect brothers that are out there teaching the word of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So basically, this is going to be another lesson. This is going to be a response to this video you brothers may see pulled up on the screen. It says Captain Tazaryach versus Klan member on Killstream Radio, right? So you had in this video, Captain Tazaryach of the IRCPK was basically debating the stance of a racist Edomite, right? Because I think he pretty much just called up there, to debate with this guy and stuff. And the responses of this Edomite shows you the level of hatred and pretty much cruel, oppressive spirit that these devils have, man. He mentioned, okay, and what I was gonna do is I was gonna pretty much play the video and dissect everything the Edomite said word for word, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm just gonna go into the scriptures based upon what my memory. But Tazaryach did a good job of cutting this dude up, but he fell short of going into the scriptures and proving a biblical standpoint. But this devil, man, there's no way of reproving these Edomites. There's no way of putting correction upon an Edomite, because it's in their spirit to be an oppressor. It's in their spirit to hate the children of Israel. It's in their spirit to not care about us. So this debate really just exposed the mindset of you Edomites out there, that you are just prime candidates for judgment. You're just primed for judgment, because nowhere in your spirit do you even nowhere in your spirit do you even want to make a restitution to the children of Israel, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which you robbed and pillaged and enslaved. Nor have you done any sort of restitution to this day. Okay, because when you look at the facts of the matter, you have the descendants of the Negroes who worked in slavery for hundreds of years in your country. And what you give us is welfare. That's the biggest talking point that you can actually defend, making a restitution to our people, welfare and affirmative action. Look, as many of the jobs I worked in my life as being a quote-unquote African American, there's been always as much devils working with me as it was Jake, if not more Edomites. All right? And the simple fact is that the destruction of our people is not just a physical thing. It's not just in what we do not have in substance, but it's also our minds. The amount of poison and straying away from our heritage and cutting off our identity as a people, which destroyed us even more, which gives us a lack of a place in the world, a lack of direction. Most of our young men, they only seek to be entertainers, to be rappers and comedians and professional sports players, because that's all the role models that's given out there. You know what I'm saying? The families are destroyed due to feminism. The family unit is destroyed due to the Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? How they depict in movies and TV how women are supposed to be rebellious against men. The drugs, look, there's a big fuss about our people being drug dealers, but who gave them the drugs? Who shipped in the drugs? Who shipped in the guns to our neighborhoods? It was you Edomites. And you may make the argument that, oh, well, you had the choice to pick up the drugs and guns. You could have just left them there. Well, hey, nonetheless, where does the blame go in for the people that placed and gave these tools of destruction to our people? You still get the blame for it. Because had we not partook in these things, the blame would still go to you anyway, because you placed him there. Okay? And you Edomites, you're gonna be destroyed, because the thing that you do not account for is the fact that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites, we're not Africans. We have help from on high. We have help from on high that as our power, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, that's going to take us out of this condition and put you in captivity, man. You Edomites are going to go into captivity. So with all that being said, I'm not going to go in my words. I'm going to let the words of the scripture speak. Okay, so this is 2nd Ezra 6 and 56. Let's go down. It says, as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So you Edomites, man, and the rest of the nations which aren't Israelites, you are nothing in the eyes of the Most High. You see? It says, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. And this is the situation we find ourselves in 2018, being devoured by heathens, being the last hired, first fired. Our young men without fathers. We've worked for hundreds of years. That cannot be forgot. The fact that we worked for hundreds of years and have not received any type of payment for it. That can't be ignored. And not only that, we find ourselves in a lesser position than these other nations, to the point where they have that ability to dictate their rules over us, to dictate their opinions and things of that nature over our people. So now the fact that you have heathens lording over us, it causes even more of a breakdown, if you will, within our communities, because we receive leadership from someone that's not of our people, that's not of our seed. Which, the heathen, we know, if you go into the scriptures, the heathen, their ways are contrary to ours. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a good mixing pot, if you will, when you mix heathen leadership with Israelite servants. It's actually supposed to be the other way around, because the Israelites are supposed to be the kings of the earth. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna go to 2 Kings 17 and 13. It says, yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and in which I set you by my servants the prophets. So this is what Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai required of our people, to keep his commandments. And our people didn't do this. Our people went into the ways of adultery and bloodshed and idolatry. It says, notwithstanding they would not hear, but hardened their necks like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in the Lord their God. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like them. So we made ourselves like the heathen, and keeping their customs and keeping their high holy days and wearing their type of attire and things of that nature, worshiping their gods, which Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai told us not to do. It says, verse 16, and they left all the commandments of the Lord their God, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worship all the host of heaven, and serve Baal. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. And look, this is not far from what the so-called Negro in America is doing today. They killing their sons and daughters through abortion. They're using divination and enchantments. You have a lot of black women that are leaving the black church to become witches, straight up. That's a thing. You got, it's Jamaicans using the opium and all the shit like that. Haitians doing voodoo. You know what I'm saying? You got, they going to palm readers that counsel with the stars. All these things anger the Most High. But then you sit there and try to give a chant of Black Lives Matter, but you're doing things that lead to death. You doing things that a spiritual person would question if you think that your life even matters in the first place, because you rebel against the one that has given you life, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says, therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. And that's why the northern kingdom, which is the Latinos and the Native Americans, the natives of the Americas, right? They got put in captivity and they got removed out of the northern kingdom of Israel, right? And a few hundred years later, they ended up in America because they sailed to America. It says, also Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of spoilers. So that's the point. We are in this position in America because we've been delivered into your hand. We've been delivered into the so-called white man's hand. You see what I'm saying? To be a spoil. That's why we don't have anything. We had, you go into the ancient world, we had things. We had the gold, we had silver, we had land, cattle, farms, okay, stores filled with corn and different foods and houses. We had all these things. Women, a multitude of sons and daughters. We had these things, but it was spoiled and taken from us for our disobedience. So it's not due to Esau, Edom, being a prolific conqueror that he's just so mighty. Nah, the Most High gave him the sword, and he allowed Esau to use the sword against us due to our wickedness. Because look, Esau has had the sword throughout history, but only in the times wherein we were being wicked is when that sword of Esau was able to prevail against us. So let's go to Lamentations 4:21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. And the daughter of Edom is you Edomites of today, you so-called white people, man. You are the Edomites. So the Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has counseled you to rejoice, because eventually your captivity is on the way. It says, thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. And your nakedness represents your shame being shown, because no one is supposed to see your nakedness. It represents you being stripped of all your substance, of all your prestige and everything. Everything's going to be taken from you. It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. So look, our affliction is almost up. So the mere fact that you have racist Edomites like the one Captain Tazaryach was getting into this interaction with, right? The fact that you have dudes like this, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Edomites that feel as if they should kill our people and basically put them back into slavery, those devils have another thing coming. You see what I'm saying? Those type of devils don't understand that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai would not put us into captivity once again. It says, he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So your wickedness is being discovered as we speak. That's why, look, out there in North Carolina, you just had two racist regalia right? It was two statues of these racist Edomites that have been there in North Carolina for a number of years. They got taken down, and then one of them one of them actually was hanging from a light pole. You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy right now. So Micah 7:7 says, therefore will I look unto the Lord, I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. So Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is saying, look, rejoice not against us, because eventually our power will raise us up out of our current status. You know, though we be in darkness, we have been in darkness because we've been without our power. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is our power. And we've been without him, but we have him again through these scriptures, through the knowledge of self, through the knowledge of knowing that we are the Israelites. We're able to go into the Bible and understand what the Israelites are supposed to do. We're supposed to wait on the Lord because he's going to judge for us. Verse 9 says, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth into the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. See? So we're going to behold the righteousness of the Lord, because we're going to see Yahweh Shai come back, Lord's will, and destroy the heathen that have taken us into captivity. So this is Ezekiel 35, verse 1. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And look, Yahweh Shem Yahushai has nothing good to say about you Edomites. Nothing whatsoever. All throughout the scriptures is filled with your condemnation and the history of your wicked dealings towards Israel. So we living in a time when you actually, for all the history of you putting the oppression on Israel, you're going to pay for it. All the lynchings and the redlining, the racist dealings that you've had toward us, you are going to pay for it. It says, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord God, behold, on Mount Seir, I am against thee. And Mount Seir represents the Edomites, because they dwelt at Seir. They dwelt at Mount Seir. When you go into Esau, he dwelt in the land known as Seir, which was south of the land of Israel. It was a mountain. It says, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. So no cities within the jurisdiction of Esau are going to stand in these last days. They're going to be destroyed, because Esau is a demon. Esau has oppressed the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? You Edomites, you've taken much pride in your strongholds in this society, but at the end of the day, they're going to be cast down. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. And that's what you Edomites have done. The lynchings, okay? The abortion clinics, okay? The different mass shootings and killings that you have committed. Like the beating of Emmett Till. You have young so-called Negroes and even the other tribes that you've beat to death for no crime whatsoever, for doing nothing besides making you mad, for doing nothing but being themselves. You killed them. It says, in the time of that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Okay, so blood is pursuing you Edomites. Your track record basically is catching up to you. As the saying goes, it says, sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And you Edomites have not hated blood. You actually call for blood to be shed. A lot of these racist Edomites, these KKK members, they would rather have so-called Negroes dead in the streets, to be able to march through to every so-called Negro's house and shoot you down. They would rather do that, so they don't hate blood. So therefore, blood is going to get them. They're going to be drenched in blood, if you so to speak, and it won't be someone else's blood; it's be their own blood. It says, "Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with slain men in thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword." So that's very descriptive and graphic as to how much killing will be done by the Most High in all your places, all your rivers, all your low places in Nevada, in Great Britain, and Germany was going to be falling dead Edomites, getting hit with nuclear missiles, getting shot through the face, all types of things. "I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return. Ye shall know that I am the Lord." So, look, this is the anger of the Most High upon you Edomites because of the simple fact of what you've done to our people. The Most High doesn't want to see your cities anymore. He doesn't want to see your cities because your cities have been filled with wickedness. The Most High is not dealing with you. You have, in the face of the Most High, you have done nothing but complete debauchery. It says, "Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there." And who was these two nations where the Lord was? It's Judah and Israel, right? Because look, that's why Amalek is out there in the land of Israel, reporting themselves to be the Israelites when they're not. They're not Jews. They're Khazarians. They're Khazarian Amalekites. And as well as the fact that you have our people in America, and you said we'll be yours, as in we'll be your slaves. "Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them." So this devil, what he doesn't like to admit is that he's envious of us. He sees our people, though any amount of heavy oppression that he puts on us, we always rise through it. We always rise, man. Just like Michael Vick, they made that dude to be the boogeyman of the earth. They turned Michael Vick into the worst criminal ever for reportedly having dogfights in his backyard. But you Edomites, you kill indiscriminately. And Michael Vick would be in better case than you Edomites in the times to come. You know what I'm saying? Of course, his career was destroyed and everything like that. Hey, but he's still living. He's still doing his thing. But you Edomites, when you get casted down, as you have been committing all these crimes against the Most High and his people, you're not going to rise again. Your envious nature towards us will be dealt with by Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. "And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee." Hey, so this is what's going to happen to you. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai will be known amongst you Edomites when he destroys you. So this is Job 20 and verse 18. "That which he labored for shall he restore." So the labor of you Edomites hasn't been on a ground level. You've been the taskmasters and the afflictors that made the actual workers work to build you up, work to build your houses and things of that nature. So you labored to build yourself up in this world and to have an Edomite empire throughout the four corners of the earth. But look, you're not going to be able to enjoy these things. "According to his substance shall the restitution be." So according to everything you have is going to be the restitution. All your gold and silver and precious things with the Lord ordained is going to be given back to the Israelites. And then the things which the Most High declared abominable will be destroyed. "And he shall not rejoice therein." Right, because you Edomites, you've had a time where you got to rejoice and take trips to Bali and, you know what I'm saying, go to Montenegro for a weekend. You go to Costa Rica and kick it, all because of the money and the wealth that's been generated from slave labor. But you're not going to rejoice in these things because you're going to, look, it's going to be taken from you. Just like you're not rejoicing right now because you see your Edomite empire going down. Your Edomite, Babylonian, New Rome, New Greece, New Egypt empire failing. It says, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor. See? Who's the poor? Israel. You oppressed and forsook us. You called us niggas and spics, and you've never restored that which you've done to our people. You've never made a payback, a payment towards what you've done to our people. You never have. It says, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. Because look, everything is going to be taken from you, Edomites. There's not going to be anything left for you of your houses and your wineries and things like that. Of your substance, your cattle, your cities. These are all your goods which are going to be taken away. Your fine clothes, you know what I'm saying? Your Calvin Klein. That shit is done for. In the fullness of his sufficiency shall he be in straits. And you Edomites, you've reached your fullness. You've reached your fullness. Because you have said of everything that you've gotten, and now it suffices you. Now you've conquered the things which you desired to get in this world. You've received it. But this is the very same time where you're going to be in straits. You're going to be in a difficult position. You're going to be bounded up because of what you've done. It says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And that represents the workers. That represents the Israelites coming to get your ass. All right. So with that, all praises goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. And I also want to play this video, man, because this is crazy. Look at this, man. If it'll come up. Salaki, brothers, I'm having trouble playing this clip, man. For whatever reason, man, it's Satan. But you got this upcoming show called Cracker, which has Jake as the slave owners. They in there raping white women, getting it in. Whipping crackers with whips. See what I'm saying? This is the judgment of Esau, man. So all praise goes to Yahweh Shai and Shalom.